StockPulse Newsroom, talking Mountain Boy Minerals today. That's MTB on the Toronto Venture Exchange, MBYMF, OTCQB in the States. Has been in the news lately with a new discovering a high-grade target there at their BA project in BC's Golden Triangle. Here to run through that news and give us a little update on the company, I've got the CEO, Lawrence Roulston. Lawrence, thanks for the time. Been quite a while, my friend. Lots going on. I know you want to share a little science with us today, too. So I guess let's backtrack a bit and why don't you give us an update on how the company did in 21. Not a great year in the market for some, but certainly a lot of work got done. So how'd Mountain Boy do?
Well, look, that's a very important point. And I really want to start to get people out there to recognize that exploration, that kind of work that we're doing, is really intensely science-focused. We're now not just using the most advanced science available, but Mountain Boy is collaborating with some of the top research organizations out there to develop the next generation of science used in exploring for metal deposits. And just on that point, very briefly, metals are incredibly important to everything we do in our daily lives. People lose track of that, and we need to keep finding new metal deposits. And it's the juniors that are making the discoveries, that are the backbone of the mining industry, that produce the metals that we use in every product that we touch or come in contact with every day of our lives. So look, on what we do and kind of explaining how we use that science. The first thing we do in our strategy is we look for a region that has the best prospects for new discovery. And we look at the known deposits in that region and we find out everything we can about the known deposits. And then we go out there and we look for settings that have the similar geological character. We focus on the Golden Triangle, and we did that very deliberately because the Golden Triangle is one of the most richly mineralized areas on the planet. It has some of the biggest deposits, some of the highest grade deposits. It's got fantastic infrastructure. It's got low priced hydroelectric power right in the heart of the district, road access, a port. So it's just a tremendous place to really focus our efforts. There's been decades of work conducted in the Golden Triangle. Literally hundreds of exploration companies have gone through every square meter of that area, looking for deposits sticking out of the ground. A little bit of work has been done using more sophisticated science, trying to look beneath the surface. But the important point, all that work that was done previously is well documented. So we've got access to that. We assemble that information. We go through a process of data mining, learning everything we can about what's gone ahead of us. And we consolidate the property to cover what we see as the geological target. We've done that now with 6 projects. We have 6 targets, each of which is a potential company maker. Put it all together, we're one of the biggest property holders in this incredibly rich area. So now comes the science. The rocks around metal deposits are altered when those metal deposits are created. And that alteration can extend meters, tens of meters, even hundreds of meters outbound from these deposits. And remember, we're looking for deposits now that are beneath the surface. So we're looking for these subtle clues. And one of the things that we do is we use extremely sophisticated analytical tools to look for minute quantities of metals, trace elements that are present in some of the minerals that are related to these deposits. And the ratios and the presence of certain minerals changes as you get further away from the deposits. So, crazy things like the ratio of zirconium to titanium or niobium to yttrium. Most people don't think of working at that level. There's a lot of geochemistry at that sort of level. Now, at the end of the day, we have to do like every other explorer. We get a drill rig out there, we put a hole into it. And at that point, of course, it's a roll of the dice. We want to get as much information as we possibly can before we roll the dice to shift the odds in our favor and give us the best prospect of hitting with those initial drill holes to avoid blowing out the treasury and having to do holes over and over and over again. So why are we doing this? What's the point of, going out looking for a metal deposit? Well, from an investor's perspective, the rewards can be enormous. There's companies all around us in this district that have values 5 or 10 or even 100 times the value of Mountain Boy. Companies that are a year or two or a few years ahead of where we are. But the values on those companies can certainly give investors an indication of the value creation that comes out of this process of exploration. So that's just kind of a quick background, an explanation of why we're doing what we're doing and how we're doing it.
Yeah, let's get into current day activities here. Obviously, you're in a publicly traded market here. Investors like action. They're watching you treasure hunt here. So, how's it going right now for you, Lawrence?
Well, clearly, for companies operating in the Golden Triangle, the winter is the quiet season. We're not generating a lot of hard news. Having said that, the scientific work that's been going on over the past few months, extracting information from the samples that we collected over the summer and previously, that scientific work is coming to a head. We're seeing the initial indications from that. We will have news on that scientific work in the next very short period of time. It's not going to be the sort of news that investors are going to go crazy over. We're not talking, copper assays or gold assays, but it's going to give us a reason to talk about the projects and explain the science that we're doing, set the stage, explain how close we're getting to identifying the core zones that we're going to be focusing on when the field season gets underway. And it's going to be getting underway very shortly now. In fact, late May, early June, we expect to start, getting back into the field.
So accumulate the data, see what the science says. Like you said, let it lead the drill holes. Put together the plan here. What can investors expect here throughout 22, and certainly when you get back on site?
In 2022, we're going to get back into the field as soon as we can. We're going back out there with a lot of information that we've developed from the science that we've been conducting over the winter. It's going to put us in a very strong position to advance the project very quickly. Now, this is a project that we acquired last year. It was explored by at least 50 different companies, each looking at little pieces of it. So we've put all those individual pieces together. We're seeing a big picture. For the first time, we're looking at the big picture geological story on this. And we have overwhelming evidence that this is a large gold, copper, porphyry deposit. And we are zeroing in on, we're just fine tuning where we're going to site the drill rigs and orient which way we're going to be drilling. We're going to be drilling into this. And this target is on a par with the largest porphyry copper gold deposits in the triangle. And there's some monsters up there, but we have every indication that we are similar to these other big deposits that literally surround us in the Golden Triangle.
Wow. So I guess give us a health check on the company here, Lawrence. How much fuel's in the tank here to carry out the mission? How's the treasury looking? And
we've got about $1.25 million of working capital at this point. If we have to, we can do $1 million program this summer, meet all our requirements. That's our base level. We're putting together a plan and a budget for a much, much larger program. We're working with financiers. In fact, there's any number of investors that would put in all the money we need, but we don't want to do it at this share price. We've got a story here. We're at the level now where this information is coming together. We can take this message out to, and it's going to be the sophisticated investors, the people that will understand the significance of the science, that recognize that this company has a much higher valuation. And on that basis, we'll do a financing at a price above where we're trading at this moment. And with that, we'll carry out a very aggressive program over the course of this coming field season.
Okay, we'll leave it there and look forward to checking back in when you have some more news for us. And that's the president and CEO, Lawrence Roulston, Mountain Boy Minerals, MTB, Toronto Venture Exchange, MBYMF, OTCQB in the States. Again, Lawrence, thanks for the time, and we'll check back in there when you have some more news to report.
Really appreciate the time. Great talking to you.